Before you think about reaching for medication, there's something sitting in your kitchen right now that you might be overlooking. And no, you're not broken. What you're experiencing isn't just getting older. In many cases, it comes down to one thing: circulation. More specifically, it's about how blood moves through your body. And when it doesn't move the way it should, certain functions begin to decline. Timing and proportions matter more than most people realize. Unfortunately, this is where many men unknowingly go wrong. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Rubby. I've worked closely with men dealing with performance, energy, and circulation-related concerns. And there's one quiet moment many men over 60 experience, but rarely talk about. It's that moment after things didn't go as expected, when you're left alone with your thoughts, wondering what changed. You question your body. You question your confidence. But here's the truth. This isn't about losing something permanently. It's about understanding what's happening internally and correcting it. Instead of blaming age, we need to look at the body like a system of pathways. When those pathways get restricted, performance naturally suffers. Now here's where things get interesting. There's a simple, inexpensive item, something most people already have at home, that may support better circulation when used correctly. I'm talking about baking soda. It may sound surprising, but when used in a very specific way, it has properties that can influence how your body manages internal balance. But before we get into the details, take a second to support this video. Tap the like button so more people can discover this information. And feel free to share where you're watching from. It's always interesting to see how far these conversations reach. To understand why this works, we need to take a closer look at your blood vessels. Inside every vessel is a thin, intelligent lining known as the endothelium. Think of it as a control layer. It regulates when vessels expand and when they tighten. When everything is working properly, this system allows blood to flow freely wherever it's needed. But over time, certain lifestyle factors begin to interfere with that balance. One of the biggest hidden issues is internal acidity. Now, this doesn't mean your body literally turns acidic like a chemical reaction, but rather that your internal environment shifts in a way that affects how efficiently your systems operate. When this imbalance occurs, your blood vessels can become less flexible. Instead of opening smoothly, they remain slightly constricted. This restricts circulation and limits the release of nitric oxide, a key molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels. Without enough nitric oxide, blood flow becomes sluggish. And that's where sodium bicarbonate, commonly known as baking soda, comes into play. In controlled amounts, it acts as a buffering agent. It can help support a more balanced internal environment, which may allow blood vessels to function more efficiently. The result? Improved circulation, better oxygen delivery, and stronger vascular response. But here's the key. This only works when used correctly. Random use or incorrect timing won't give you the same effect. In fact, it can even interfere with digestion if done improperly. That's why understanding the how is just as important as understanding the why. Before we move forward, there's something important to recognize. This approach isn't about replacing medical advice or ignoring serious conditions. It's about supporting your body's natural processes in a smarter way. In the next section, I'll show you 3 everyday habits that quietly work against your circulation and what you can do to correct them. Because fixing the problem isn't just about adding something helpful, it's also about removing what's holding you back. Now let's talk about what's actually causing the problem in the first place. Because adding something helpful won't do much if the root cause is still there. There are 3 common habits that slowly interfere with circulation, and most people don't even realize it. The first one is excess sugar, especially later in the day. That evening dessert or late-night snack might feel harmless, but over time, it contributes to internal imbalance and reduced vascular efficiency. The second is ongoing stress. When your body is constantly in a state of tension, it releases stress hormones like cortisol. These signals tell your body to prioritize survival, not relaxation or recovery. As a result, blood flow is redirected away from areas that aren't considered essential in that moment. The third habit is a lack of mineral-rich foods. If your diet is missing leafy greens and nutrient-dense vegetables, your body doesn't get the support it needs to maintain proper balance. These minerals play a key role in maintaining healthy circulation. Let me give you a quick example. I once worked with a client, let's call him James, who was 62 years old. He felt like his body had simply slowed down beyond repair. He was already considering long-term medication as his only option. But instead, I asked him to try a structured routine for just a few weeks. Nothing extreme, just small adjustments, including a specific nighttime protocol. Within a short period, he began noticing changes. One of the first signs he mentioned was improved morning response, which, from a clinical perspective, is actually a strong indicator that circulation is improving during rest. That's when we knew his body was responding. And that's the key takeaway here. Your body isn't failing. It's reacting to conditions. Change the conditions, and you can often change the outcome. Before trying anything new, it's important to recognize the signals your body may already be giving you. There are a few simple signs that can point toward reduced circulation. First, cold hands or feet, especially at night. If your extremities struggle to stay warm, it may indicate that blood isn't reaching those smaller vessels efficiently. Second, frequent muscle tightness or cramps. When circulation is limited, muscles don't receive enough oxygen, which can lead to discomfort or sudden cramping. Third, getting out of breath more easily than before. If simple activities leave you feeling winded, your vascular system may not be delivering oxygen as effectively as it should. If any of these sound familiar, it may be worth paying closer attention. Now let's talk about the method itself. The key here is precision. You'll need a small amount, about a quarter teaspoon of food-grade baking soda. This should be mixed into a full glass of water, roughly 8 ounces or more. But timing is critical. It's best taken on an empty stomach, ideally a couple of hours after your last meal. Why? Because if you take it too close to food, it can interfere with stomach acid and digestion. The goal here is absorption, not neutralizing your meal. Consistency also matters. This isn't about overdoing it. It's about using the right amount at the right time. And remember, more is not better. Now, if you want to take this a step further, there's a simple technique you can combine with it, and it doesn't cost anything. Because improving circulation isn't just about chemistry, it's also about your nervous system. Even if your body is physically ready to improve blood flow, stress signals from your brain can override that process. That's where controlled breathing comes in. Right after taking the mixture, spend a few minutes focusing on slow, deep breaths. Inhale gently through your nose for about 4 seconds, allowing your abdomen to expand. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for around 6 seconds. This pattern helps shift your body out of stress mode and into a more relaxed state. When that happens, your body becomes more receptive to improved circulation. Think of it as aligning both your physical and neurological systems at the same time. But before you try this, there's something important you need to understand. This approach is not suitable for everyone because baking soda contains sodium. Individuals with high blood pressure, kidney concerns, heart conditions, or those on sodium-restricted diets should avoid this unless advised otherwise by a healthcare professional. Your safety always comes first. This is not about replacing medical care. It's about supporting your body responsibly. When used correctly and combined with better habits, this simple approach can become part of a broader strategy for improving overall vitality. And remember, true improvement doesn't come from one single solution. It comes from combining small, smart adjustments that work together over time. If you're ready to continue, there's another step that can complement this process even further, focusing on how certain natural ingredients can support nitric oxide production more directly.